Good afternoon, founders. Welcome to the lectures about the pitch deck. So, are you ready? Yes. Okay, great. Now, the first section is about the pitch deck. So, as some of you have already submitted, and anyone can share with me about, in your mind, how to make a pitch deck. What is the first section or the first slide in your pitch deck? Anyone can share? Sorry? Problem statement, okay? And what else? Demand. So the market information, the demand or the problem statement, the things that your company or your project would like to solve, okay? That's correct. This is the major trend of the pitch deck that you can find in the market. What else? Anyone have different idea? Sorry? Unique selling point, okay? So try to highlight the core competence or the unique selling point of the project. So that is another pretty common scenario. What else? Investment highlight or traction, okay? So give the numbers, try to quantify your advantage or your unique selling point. That is also pretty common. What else? Team. So try to promote yourself, try to promote your talent access, try to highlight how you differentiate with others or competitors. That's also makes sense to me. What else?
Branding page, like your company, logo, product, like just in a snapshot, a fancy one to showcase.
Snapshot of the company. Give the potential investor a quick a feeling about your company. Okay, that's pretty good. So what else? I think many of you already cover the major trend, okay? So I would like to give you something new, okay? Are you ready? Okay, so what is pitch deck? When we try to prepare a pitch deck, this is a fundamental question that we would like to know. What is the purpose? Why we need a pitch deck, okay? In the internet, actually you can, after you receive my course material, actually in the PDF, there are so many links. You can just directly click in, open up the browser and read the reference, okay? So here I just want to highlight with you the basic concept of pitch deck, okay? The pitch deck is a presentation deck. It's different from the business plan or detailed business plan. Normally, people will use the document, okay? But pitch decks, normally people will use it to, like some of you mentioned about, give the snapshot of your company, introduction, problem statement, how's your performance of the company, give the numbers, the tractions, whatever, okay? So it's a presentation, okay? Normally people will use like the this kind of format, a PowerPoint or presentation, whatever, okay? And so the major purpose is to, actually not only two, but most of the points that covered by the founders just mentioned. And the purpose to prepare the pitch deck, I remember last lecture I mentioned to you, okay? But do you recall? What's the purpose of the pitch deck? Yeah, gain the opportunity for next meeting, all right? So the pitch deck need to be short enough, to the point, so that people, if I try to quantify the performance in the first 5 seconds, most likely you need to gain the yes from the potential audience or potential investor, not more than 10 seconds. How to do that? How to do that? Later on I will share with you, okay? How I would like to propose to you to how to make use of the 10 seconds that gain the next meeting, okay? So there's a one reference you can find in the online bookstore, which named as The Art of Startup Fundraising. So I think this is basically cover a traditional way to do the pitch deck preparation, okay? So don't spend money to buy, just check, okay? And because I think my material is more valuable but still free, okay? But at least you know that there are some resources in the online store that if you are interested, you can consider. Go to library, whatever, okay? Give you some hints. So in this reference, normally they classify the common version of the pitch deck, like I mentioned, text-based pitch deck. People use what they call teaser, okay? One-page teaser is more text-based, one page. People use Microsoft Word, whatever, text-based, okay? The other is like the PowerPoint presentation way, is more visual, is more graphical. So, and you may find that lots of template in the internet that give you some reference. Use a lot of infographics, okay? So people normally use that. And no matter what, you need to think about who is your audience. If your audience is potential investor, they are always busy. They don't have enough time. So you may need to select a suitable format to them, okay? Some people may want to just use one page, and then they ask you to prepare the teaser, and then you give them teaser. If they ask you to give a pitch deck, you give them pitch deck, okay? So, and normally, in order to gain the next meeting, those material can be sent out without face-to-face meeting, okay? So people think that, okay, I need to sign the NDA before disclose the information. To me, I personally never do that. Waste the time, create a barrier. If you want to do fundraising, you have to make it efficient. If you have something that you don't want to show, don't put it in the document. And if you put the things in the document, suppose it can be sent out or circulate, no matter what, okay? So try to make it efficient, to the point, okay? So this is the summary of the reference book, and it covers different kind of section. And you may find some points that I mentioned actually also included in this reference book. But frankly, this book is relatively historical, okay, with some years. And in the capital market, change very fast. As you may know that the global economy is pretty bad. And it is going to be even worse. So, founders, you are facing a challenging period, okay? If you want to do fundraising, like last time in the last lecture I mentioned to you, you have to adjust the suitable potential investor. At least they have money. If they don't have money, they just try to do deal sourcing, and just for them, for the fund manager to fulfill their homework, it doesn't make sense to you. You just waste your time. So you have to figure that out, who has money, okay? So it is pretty easy for you to understand because you can check their deal flow, okay? Science Park has a lot of information with a strong network with those VC, and Science Park will know who are active VC, okay? Get that information first. And like I mentioned to you, this is a good reference, but it is relatively old style. The reason why I want to show you, because at least you know the previous format. So when you are going to do the new pitch deck, at least you want to make a difference. You want to be competitive, okay? So that's why I mentioned this. Here are the types of the pitch deck I personally classified it, okay? So like some of you mentioned, the problem statement, okay? So I call it traditional framework. Frankly, those three types of pitch deck serve the most of the purpose. I don't call it which one is better. No, I didn't mean that, okay? Depends on the target audience. Because some investor, they want to have the traditional framework. Some investor, they want to know about the story behind. Okay, so you would like to use a very logical storyline to promote. Okay, so I create a new type of the pitch deck. Later on, I will share with you what is scenario-based pitch deck, and you will see the difference. Okay, so first, traditional framework. Actually, this is just one example. Like some of you mentioned that, okay, I want to share the tractions first. I want to share the team's information. Frankly, it is 100% based on your company's characteristic. If your company, the key highlighted key point is your team, you want to share first, so you put the team first. If you want to share the portfolio or the track record so that you want to give a snapshot of your company, put that, okay? If you want to share to the potential investor that, hey, my company is doing something great. The market is so big, the potential is so big, and I want to mention about the problem statement first. Not a problem. All these are the traditional pitch deck, okay? Not a problem. So this is just one example that you can find in the market, especially for those templates, okay? Storytelling type framework, match the point is that when you hear the presentation, when you read the pitch deck, the storytelling element is very fruitful, okay? Depends on your company. Do you remember the first seminar? I invite 3 founders to share. Do you remember that we have done in the CDU United Center? Do you remember Kamakura, the Wonder Bando? Jason is the founder, CEO, and he used the storytelling type framework. He tells you about his story in Japan, start from Japan, okay? So for the traditional framework, as I recall, Locola, Ken, okay, at the very beginning, he tried to describe with you about what he wanted to do in the Hong Kong. The demand of the share buy will increase by the government policy, building up the bicycle route, connect very long. That is the government development plan. So that is more traditional, okay? Tells you the future demand, okay? That is traditional. So like I mentioned to you that it is not good or bad, okay? Good or bad basically is related to your target audience. If the target audience, the investor, is looking for some tractions, and then you spend a lot of time to talk about the story, and it is mismatched, okay? So you have to identify your potential audience and see what kind of style they are expecting, okay? But I come up with pretty efficient way, which is the first 10-second rule. No matter the VC is the traditional type or storytelling type, I propose to give them a surprise in the first 10 seconds. For this, do you agree that is no harm? Right? If you can do, you can make your potential audience to be surprised or impressed in the first 10 seconds, I think that will be better, right? Do you agree? In order to do that, I want to propose to use the first slide to give an overview or the scenario of the target objective. I will give you some example, make that clear, okay? So that is the scenario base. Visualize the final goal in the first slide. Then people will fully understand what you are going to do, and as well as what is the impact that you are going to create, okay? And then you talk about, wow, this is the final goal. This is the, if we can do that, that will be fantastic. So in the first 10 seconds, the audience will be impressed. Then the second step is that you want to give the evidence. You want to give the supporting to tell people that this is the great scenario and I can do that, okay? And then if you can present it in this way, you convince. First step is you attract the audience. The second is you convince the audience. Okay, do you get that? Okay, the third part is turn into action. So, wow, your target scenario is great. If someone can do that as an investor, I think that is good. And then second is that you are telling me that you can deliver, you can do that, okay? Then the third step is turn into action. Give the potential audience, what do you want? Your offer, how much money you want, and what is the return in terms of the number of share or the collaboration model. So make it very simple. My experience to have optimistic the pitch deck, the number of slides, I think no more than 10 pages will be good. Okay? So if you are the audience, you don't have enough time, you read the deck, considering the cover page and then the contact page, if this is 10 pages slide, so that the content will be less than 8 pages. Okay? So that is something that you can think about, how to make use of those pages to plug in your information inside. Is that clear? Here is my name card. I will not stop this screen, and you guys please feel free to take. And this is my personal mobile, okay? And you know, people send me an email. Frankly, I will not check. I have admin office to check, handle all my meeting schedule, all the email they will read. But this number, this WhatsApp is the only thing I will handle in person. Okay, I give you my best communication channel. So that's the end of today, and I hope you guys enjoy, and please feel free to mingle. Thank you. Thank you.